Good morning, everybody. Well, actually, you might be watching this in the middle of the night. So, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, etc., etc. Welcome to Smoke Showing with Jay. Today, I'm going to be making pork belly burnt ends. If you haven't had these, they are amazing. I make these quite often because they are so good, and pork belly is fairly cheap. I have a 9.5 pound pork belly here. It was $3.50 a pound at Costco. Where I live, Costco is pretty much the only place I can get pork bellies, so I get a nice big one. I'll be making bacon later today. Well, I'll be starting the process for bacon as well. I already have that video, but I haven't finished it and posted it, but it'll be coming up. So this is a really simple process. As you guys know, I try and keep everything as simple as possible. It takes about 4 hours start to finish. I'm going to be using a hardwood. I haven't figured out yet. Probably hickory, and I'll probably be using apple wood or peach wood. Haven't decided yet. But I like a strong flavor, and I also like the sweet flavor of a fruit. So probably apple and hickory will be my choices today. I will be using butt rub as well. This will be my seasoning. And then I will be using G. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce, honey flavored. So this recipe is going to be keto. For those of you that are on keto, it'll be pretty close to a really keto recipe. The other ingredient I'll be using just a little bit of maple syrup and just a little bit of brown sugar. And then I have some fake brown sugar. I try not to use the fake stuff too often. But with this recipe, you do need a little bit of sweetness. So it's not going to be too much sugar at all in here. Maybe 3 tablespoons of sugar and maybe 4 tablespoons of maple syrup. Just a little bit to give it that sweetness that it's going to need. And the sugar-free barbecue sauce, if you guys haven't tried it, it's amazing. I cannot tell the difference. So you'll want to try that. And this is the honey one, so it's going to give it some good flavor. This only has like 2 carbs per 2 tablespoons, and I'm only going to use about a quarter cup for 9 pounds of meat. So that's going to transfer over to probably less than 1 carb per serving for those of you that are on keto or carnivore or any of those. So, but sometimes you just have to have a little bit of sugar. I know it's not that good for you, but I'm not here to give you lessons on what's good and not good for you. I'm here to cook some food. So we're going to do that. So first thing we do to start this process is we take our pork belly. It's been in the fridge overnight. I haven't seasoned it or anything like that. And I put it in the freezer for about half hour, 40 minutes, I think I put it in. Pork bellies just cut a lot easier. I'm sorry, I'm moving too close. I'm cutting my head off. Pork bellies cut a lot easier when they are really, really cold. So we're going to get rid of all this packaging. And I have my super, super sharp knife. This knife is super sharp. I only use it for a couple things. It's actually like a fillet knife, I believe is what it is. All right, so bear with me here. It's just me. My camera lady is gone. She's out partying with her friends in the middle of the afternoon. I'm just kidding. She's just out with friends. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this up into cubes. Normally, I just smoke the whole the pork belly, and then I take it out and cut it up. But I've been watching a lot of the professionals, and they all cube it. So I figured, what the heck? Let's give it a try. I'll try and cube it, see how it goes. So I'm going to cube this in... My goal is 1 inch or 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch cubes, but you know, I'm not perfect, so it's going to be close to that. And if you can see here, this is actually at an angle. Most meat isn't perfectly square. I'm not squaring it off and getting rid of meat. I'm going to cut it up and I'm going to use it all. If a little bit is more done than the others, so be it. So we'll just even this off. And you can see that just slices like butter, right? When it's nice and cold like that. Currently I have the fat side down. Do not remove that fat. You are going to need it. So we're going to go about there. So it's about that big. So like 2 big fingers. Okay. this is going to get used as well. I do not throw any of the meat away. I don't have the capability of making sausage. If I did, I might trim it off and make it all pretty, like all the professionals do. But I don't have the ability to make sausage, so I cook it. And one of these days, when I get the brisket, I'm going to show you guys my way of trimming a brisket. I don't waste a whole lot. I do take some of the fat off a brisket, talking about briskets, even though that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about pork bellies. And this is what bacon is made out of. So if you look there, that sure looks like bacon, isn't it? Because this is bacon, just not cured yet. So, but this is one of those delicacies that most people just don't know about, because the only thing pork bellies are really used for most people, is beans. Some people make it, they use the pork belly and beans, and then it's used for bacon. So that is what it's for mostly, but you can make some good stuff. So, but this is amazing. I just love this stuff. When I was a kid, I would always hear the pork belly report in the morning. Had no clue what it was, but it was always on the radio. Pork bellies are going for this. I had no clue what that was. You're a kid. All right, so this end piece is really thick. So I'm just going to square it off. And this end piece has a lot of fat, but I'm still going to use it because I want to cut it up. And I'm going to add it to it. Like I said, I'm making this very keto. For those of you that don't know, I've been on keto for a couple years now. I've lost 40 pounds and working on losing more. So this is how big they are. So 2 fingers wide, 2 fingers long, give or take. You know, it's about what you're looking for. Because one thing to remember with pork belly, actually I'm going to cut those in half, is pork belly, if those of you that cook bacon, pork belly, it shrivels up a lot. So we don't want that, or we want that, but we have to account for it. But these are kind of like bite size. I'm making a meal out of this. A lot of people make this as an appetizer, but I'm not going to. We're going to make a meal. I'm also going to do some bacon wrapped pickles later on the same smoke, but we won't be doing that in this video. I have that video elsewhere. So, all right, so I'm not going to keep cutting this on video for you guys. You guys get the idea. You're looking for a good 1.5 inches by a good 1.5 inches, or whatever works for you. And just remember, they are going to shrivel up. So I'll be right back, and I'll go into the next step. All right, so we're back. So step 2 is we're going to season this up. And I have a tinfoil pan here, but I'm thinking I'm going to need a second one. So you know what? I'll be right back. I'm going to get a second one, and then we'll continue this conversation. All right, now I'm prepared. All right, so I'm going to be using my butt rub. This is Bad Byron's butt rub. A little bit butt rub makes everything better. This is good stuff. Take it up. This whole package, I bought at Sam's Club, I think it was. Not affiliated with them. I want to say it was like $5.50, but when you get it in the store, you get just a little one for like $6. So, like I said, I buy a lot of my spices at Costco and Sam's Club. They're just way cheaper. Being on a budget, we're all, well, some of you might be wealthy, but we're just working folks. So what we're gonna do, I did wash my hands, even though I have my gloves on, and I'm going to sprinkle this around. We're basically gonna try and get the seasoning on all sides. So I'm going to be doing a lot of this. Then I'm going to let this sit for like 20 minutes. Doesn't have to sit long. Pork just absorbs a lot of flavor really quickly. So, and this is going to smoke for about 2 hours, give or take. We're looking at between 140 and 160 degrees is what I'm looking for when I smoke this. So, and I decided I'm going to use hickory, and I'm going to use apple wood. So those will be my woods of choice today. And I mix them together. Some people do them at separate times, but from what I know of smoking, smoke the first couple hours is where you really get a lot of the biggest smoke penetration. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what it says in a lot of the books I read on smoking and what happens during the smoking process, because it is of science. So that's why a lot of stuff works out really well, and some other stuff just doesn't. You know, it's a science, just like everything else. So, all right, so you get the picture. You want to put a good coating of this on. All right, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch it, but I'll be back and I'll have both of these full, and then we'll talk some more. All right, so welcome back. I got 2 big trays of my pork belly all cut up. They're 1.5 inches or so by 1.5 inches. All right, now that I have these all seasoned, I'm just going to take my hands. I'm going to mix them all up. I just want to make sure I get everything nice and coated and seasoned. When I'm doing this kind of stuff, I do wear gloves. Cheapest place that I have found that has gloves is Harbor Freight. Those of you that have a Harbor Freight close by, they go on sale all the time. For a while there, a box of gloves was up to like $20, which is ridiculous. But Harbor Freight has had them on sale for like $3 a box. So I went and bought 2 or 3 boxes because I do use a lot of them. I use them in the garage and stuff as well. Anytime I'm working on the car, whatever, I wear them. So that's a good, same place. They don't need to be anything special. I think I use 5 mil. These are the ones I use. You don't need the real heavy ones unless you're a mechanic, all right? Or you work in EMS, you may want a little thicker ones, but I work in EMS and fire, and this is the size I like because I need to be able to feel veins and stuff, so. I like 5 mil, it's just gives you a good amount of protection, and I can still feel what I'm doing. So, same with smoking. All right, so in the smoking process, this is gonna go in. So this is another easy one. Very little cleanup because everything's gonna be in these trays. Start to finish, I'm gonna be in these trays. A lot of people will take them, put them in another tray, and then transfer them over, but I'm not doing that many dishes. And then these I just throw away. So, and I have no other way of smoking things other than either directly on my smoker or in tin foil. I don't have any other type containers that I can smoke meat in. So we have this all set. So I'm gonna be smoking at approximately 250 degrees Fahrenheit is what I'm looking for in my smoker. I'm gonna smoke these for about 2 hours to 2.5 hours is what I'm looking for. And I'm looking for an internal temperature of a couple of them. I'm gonna poke them of about 160, give or take. Maybe a little bit less, but right around the 160 mark is what you're looking for. Pork is technically cooked. I think it's at 145. But these we're going to take a little bit higher because we really want all that fat to render and come out and crisp up. Then the next step is once they reach that temperature, we're going to pull them off the smoker, and I'm going to put my barbecue sauce, the little bit of brown sugar that I'm going to use, and the little bit of honey, or not honey, the little bit of maple syrup that I'm going to use. I'm going to pour it on these. We're going to mix them all up by hand again. And then we're going to smoke them for, about an hour. And they're going to be wrapped in tin foil at that time. Then after about an hour, we're going to take that tin foil off. And then we're going to leave them in the smoker for about half hour. And that will just crisp them up really nicely and put that bark and coating of sweet goodness onto these, all right? When they're smoking, you're gonna get a lot of fat in the bottom of here. Don't worry about it. That's totally part of the process, and that's what you're looking for. It is pork bellies. They are very fatty. So, one other thing I want to mention, most of the stuff that I smoke is keto or paleo or carnivore friendly, okay? I use very little carbs. I restrict my carbs. I'm not preaching. That's just how I cook. Because you don't really need fake sugars in a lot of this stuff. You just need a little bit every once in a while for sweetness, and then that's it. But I will see you guys in about 45 minutes out at the smoker. I haven't even started getting it ready because this is going to sit and season and brew and do its thing. So for those of you that watch the channel, if you like it, please give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right. So I will see you all in a little bit. Peace, love, and hair grease. Oh, peace, love, and smoking. All right, we are back in the smoker. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we got some good smoke roll in there. We are going to get these bad boys on. I got 2 of them here. So we're going to get these puppies going. The top is the hottest of my smoker. So, oh yeah. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It's kind of dark. It's really blustery day here today. Oh, I got a sensor somewhere. I don't want it. My temperature sensor is in the wrong place. But it is what it is. So this is the fullest one. So it's going to go at the very top. All right. So I preheat my smoker to like 350 before I do anything with it. And then I get my wood going. And then I turn it down to the desired temperature that I'm looking to smoke at. That's just what I do. I think I do it just because I like to have a nice hot smoker when I put my food in. I want it to be able to rebound really quickly and get that temperature up and start smoking, get all that smoke in the meat. So we're cooling down to 260 and we're on our way back down to like 250. That's where we want to smoke at. So we got her on, and I'll see you guys in probably about 40 minutes, and we're going to check her out. All right. See y'all in a bit. Peace, love, and hair grease. All right, so we have been on, hopefully this is recording. We've been on for an hour. I'm gonna check these babies out, see how they're doing, see what the temperature's at. They're barely over 100 degrees, so we're good. I'll see you guys in a little bit, and then we'll sauce them all up. All right. We've been on for an hour and a half. These are actually going to get changed positions now, but we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to change this up a little bit. Keep this close, keep our heat in. I'm sorry, that was probably a little fast on camera. I'm sorry about that. All right, so what we're going to do, disregard my huge mess here, is I'm going to check these out, see what their temperature is. There you go, now you can actually see what I'm doing. So we're at 130 on that piece. Find another one down here at the bottom. It's at 140, so we're going to mix these all up a little bit. Those are 130, so they're actually getting cooked really evenly, which is good. And then you can see there's a little bit of juice forming down here. Not a whole lot yet, so we got a ways to go. Oh, I'm sorry, you probably couldn't see that. But we got some juice forming in here. A little bit there. So, but what we're going to do is I'm going to add some maple syrup right now. As you can see how much is in there. It's maybe an inch. This is going to be enough for both. So. As I said, we're not using a whole lot of sugar and sweetener on these. Alright. Excuse my mess here. Now we're going to do a little bit of brown sugar. Just a sprinkle. Brown sugar is really the key here. So, alright, I'm going to give these a mix. Fortunately, these little tinfoil things just aren't the greatest to mix in. Having a nice cast iron pot or pan would be much better, but unfortunately I don't have that. So I only have a couple things. Ooh, we just about lost that sucker. We don't want to do that. So we're gonna get those mixed. I'm gonna do the same thing back here. So I've added probably 3 tablespoons. So maybe a 1/4 cup of brown sugar and maybe 4 tablespoons of maple syrup to these, maybe. Like I said, I don't always measure stuff. I just go with it. If I need to add a little bit more, we'll do that up later. But we should be good. Alright, so I'm going to get these bad boys back in here. But they are going to change spots, and hopefully I did this right. They should go up top. Alright. And for this smoke, I have my vents wide open, just so you know. And the reason I have my vents wide open is I'm trying to get as much smoke to flow as I can. If you close your vents down, you basically reduce the amount of smoke that's being produced. If it has a lot to flow, then you will get lots of smoke. And I'm trying to get as much smoke as I can today because it has to go up and over top and into these trays to get it to do what we need it to do. So that's why I have my vents wide open. I've added wood once, and then in a minute here I'm about to add some more. So I actually am using hickory and apple, and I started also with a little Jack Daniels. This is Daniels oak aged barrels, so gives a little bit more of a sweet flavor. So that's why I added it to the beginning of this, because I'm not using a whole lot of sweetener, and with these burn downs you do want a lot of sweetness in them. So alright, I will see you all in a little bit. Peace, love, and hair grease. Alright, so we had a big storm come through here, and it really slowed everything down. I lost about 15 degrees air temperature, so I had to crank it up. I'm at 350 on my smoker, and I'm only smoking in the 280 range. But these have come up to temp. You can see all that goodness in there. So I'm just going to do one of these, and you can see my pickles I got to pull here shortly. So what we're going to do is I'm going to add, I got just literally a drop of maple syrup left, so I'm going to put it in. There we go. May as well, got to use it up, right? So I'm just going to sprinkle just a little bit more brown sugar in here, just a wee bit. Oh, too much, didn't want that much. All right. And then, I'm going to use some of this sugar-free honey barbecue sauce. Give it a good shake. All right. Hope you guys can see that. There we go. Now you can see. So we're going to sprinkle this on, or put some on. Just give it a little coating over the top. I don't use measurements very well, so I just cook by what I'm seeing, and that's how I cook. So I should get better at that. Ooh, these are smelling really good. So these are going to get wrapped now. So I'm going to give this a good mix. And the reason we're wrapping it is I want it to steam and render all that fat and get really tender. Just because I had to up the temperature quite a bit to bring these up to temp, so could be a little bit tough. Pork generally isn't too tough, but still want to give it a nice coating, and I want it to steam, get a nice steam bath going. That's what we're looking for. Excuse me. That's what we're looking for. So, all right. With this cake, baby. Oh, excuse me, I'm losing my voice here. Apologize for that, but that's life. All right, so we got that sucker wrapped up, and we're gonna put her back on the smoker. Now I'm gonna do the same thing to the other one, but I'll do that off the camera. And then these are gonna, excuse me, these are gonna be on here for 1 hour. All right. So we're gonna let those be for 1 hour, and then I'll be back. I'll see you guys in an hour. Peace, love, and smoking, baby. All right, so we've been at 40 minutes. And unfortunately, I'm running out of time because I have to leave and take these with me. So they're gonna come out. Sorry, I'm probably moving a little fast for the camera. I apologize. And something was... There we go. So we're going to take this off. You can see the juice has dripped out. Ooh, look at those suckers steam. Juice has dripped off of those. These are going back in for a few more minutes. So we're going to stir these puppies up. My smoker is cooking really hot right now because I have it cranked way up. If you want to, you can drain all this off to really, oops, ooh, that was close. I almost lost that sucker. If you want, you can drain all this juice off. And then that'll give them the burnt ends look that you're looking for. I don't care, I'm just looking for the flavor. So these are gonna go back on for 15 minutes and then I will see you then. All right, peace, love, and hair grease. All right, so we have them off the smoker. I'm just gonna set one down here so you guys can see what it looks like. And I cut my head off, so I'll have to bend down. But you can see, nice and crisp. That's what they look like when you do the last 15 minutes. I'm just gonna show this to you. Whoops. The camera's a little wonky, it's on a swivel. So as you can see, the ones underneath here, they're just juicy and tender. Like literally, I just barely touch them. The ones on top are that burnt end per se kind of look. So if you want them to all be totally crispy, you don't want any soft ones per se that aren't like the really brown and crunchy like this one is over here on the right. Drain all this sauce off, and the last the last hour. Well, my camera is all wonky, I apologize. Hopefully it doesn't fall over on us. Hey everybody. So we're a little lopsided for some reason. So if you choose to not have any of it soft like this and you want it all just burnt and crisp, it's called burnt ends. They're not really burnt, they're just crispy. What you would do is before that last step where we put the barbecue sauce on, you would drain all of this fat off and only put the barbecue sauce and a little bit more brown sugar in, mix it all up, and then throw it on the smoker for the hour. And then the last 15 minutes, you'll take the cover off and even crisp it up even more. So that's how you get that really, really burnt ends feel. I like some of them to be really juicy and in the sauce because I just love that flavor. So you get a little bit of mixture this way, but however you want to do it, you're the one smoking them, so do them how you want. So let's taste this. I know these are going to be amazing. They're pork belly. How can they not be amazing? Like, right? It's basically bacon. Oh my God, they're amazing. I'm not just saying that. You guys know I'll never lie to you, so those are freaking good. I could eat a lot of this. So this is half of 9 pounds, and you can see how much it cooked down because this was really full when we started. So these are good appetizers. This is a good meal. We're having this with salad and pickles wrapped in bacon that I smoked as well earlier. I think you guys, that should be in the video somewhere. But I've made a video on those before. So those are always good. So appreciate y'all coming along this little trip, making some pork belly burnt ends. Next time I make them, I will do the original way, I guess, where they're really burnt and they're really crisp. They're not burnt, but they're really crisp on the outside and they have that blackened look. I'll do that for you guys so you can just see the difference, because I like pork belly burnt ends and I like making them and I like eating them. So hopefully you guys like eating them too. All right, if you guys like what I've done and you want to try it, support the channel, give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, tell all your buddies, get them to subscribe. all that good stuff. So thanks for watching Smoke Showing with Jay. Peace, love, and hair grease. See y'all on the flip side.